right, boys, new update, first impressions. Here we go. We got Mystique with the new uniform and the tier 4, and then of course Madeline Pryor with just the tier 4. Did her hands stop glowing at first? Yes, they did. If you cycle back and forth enough, her hands will visibly stop. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Maybe it's all in my head. Who knows? All right, let's continue here. So as far as Mystique goes, she does get a new uniform. However, I'm not sure it's worth it. I don't recommend right now to pick up this uniform. I haven't made my final thoughts on it, but my initial impressions were that she's pretty bad for a level 70. I'm not sure how much better she's going to get at level 80. I still haven't unlocked her potential, but she was not impressive for a level 70. I compared her on the same content that I compared other characters on with a Mighty Rage. She had a Mighty Rage, and she was significantly slower than other characters that I tested. I tested her on 54 of Null. I tested her on 44 of Mephisto, and it was painful. Just to recap why it's so painful, basically the devs decided that she should have a 2 delay cancel, a 3 delay cancel, and a 4 delay cancel. So there's no instantly cancelable skills. You have to wait for her to throw, wait for her to throw, wait for her to explode, and then go into 5. It makes her rotation annoying at best. Certainly not proc friendly. I would give her a 0 out of 10 for proc friendliness. So it's basically rage or bust, and that automatically makes her a more expensive character. And then you also put that together with the fact that she's competing with Red Goblin, right? Who, although he's very good for ABX with a rage, you can certainly make him work with a judgment. I have a judgment on him, and he scores well above 11 million. Some players can hit 12 million with him with a Mighty Judgment, and from what I've seen, a level 70 Mystique is scoring about the same amount. So asking players to sacrifice a Mighty Rage or 2 Rages versus a Judgment or 2 Judgments is a tall order for a brand new uniform that's competing with a uniform that's almost a year old. Not to mention, if you have the Team Up collection, you can go even further because he has access to extra Pierce. Right, my Green Goblin is doing 11 and change million with 2% Pierce. Imagine how much higher that's going to go when I get the basic attack up to its max, which is what, 40% and 10% Pierce. So yeah, there is that. So I'm not really impressed with her uniform thus far. The uniform options, in case you guys are wondering, are as follows. We have Rogue Excalibur, which is pretty bad. Strife Classic, which is great. Angel, which is okay. Mr. Sinister, which is pretty good, and then Namor, which is great. So 2 great uniforms for the second and 5th options, which are very good. And then the 3rd and 4th options are okay, and really it's only the first option that's not good, but the first option is generally the weakest option, or the second weakest option, depending on what you're building for. So yeah, actually pretty good optional uniforms for what is, in my opinion, a very... I don't know. This doesn't feel like a good uniform. This feels like a great uniform visually. I think they really did a good job visually, but I think everything else is bad. I think she's frustrating to play, and I don't like the play style at all. And I don't like the rotations that I've seen people suggest. You know, it's just not it's not really the vibe for me. As far as her performance goes, or her capability, I should say, not her performance, she's available for 21 world boss requirements, which is honestly not bad. It's just it's one under the average of 22. You can see Cyclops is here with 22. And thus far, I haven't really been able to rank her because I don't have enough data, obviously, but she does appear to be as good as Green Goblin, Red Goblin at level 70, which means that she should be able to obviously surpass him at level 80 and at tier 4. However, how much she surpasses him at level 80 and tier 4 is really the issue. So I think this uniform for most players is a skip. And then I think it's really only a pickup for players who intend to tier 4 her, whether it's because they love the character or whether it's because they are really pushing for #1 ABX scores. In my opinion, even if you are an ABX scorer, I don't think this is worth it because of how little it really moves the needle. It's just 1 day every 2 weeks, and it seems to be a pretty useless character outside of this game mode. So yeah, even for me, I feel like tier 4ing a character for 1 day of ABX is too high a price to pay. But that's just my opinion. As far as Madeline goes, obviously she's going to be a massive headache now at tier 4. Just to catch you guys up with what's going on the channel, I did pick up her artifact. I gambled. That's why my crystal count is so low. I got my crystals from the Star Agent thing, and then I gambled them so that I could get enough tokens to get to purchase it directly. That's what I went ahead and did to basically accelerate the getting her artifact, because otherwise I was going to have to wait a couple of days. So I will be able to test her out tomorrow and see just how much better the artifact itself, the artifact alone makes her. That's before I get her to 80, obviously, and before I tier 4 her. That's really good. Just to flex on you guys a little bit harder, I also want to catch you guys up that I was able to, within the gambling that I did to get the white tokens, those artifact tokens to select Madeline's artifact, I was able to pull a 5-star Exodus. That's really spicy. I'm really happy about that. I don't suggest gambling for artifacts, even though it's a 1 to 6-star chance up right now, because it's like a 0.45. It's less than 0.5% chance that you pull the exact artifact you want. But I was very lucky. I didn't get Madeline. I didn't get Rachel, but I did get Exodus, who was basically like my 3rd highest choice, and I got him at 5 stars, which is fantastic. So that's a really good bonus. I will probably put together a tier 2 only Otherworld battle team and see how that goes. Maybe try to do some fun shenanigans with them. I don't think Exodus, as he's built right now at tier 2, is going to be able to compete with tier 3 Strife. And essentially, tier 3 Strife does all the same things that Exodus does because they have the same passive. So, you know, this passive here, or sorry, this passive, it's on his uniform, brother hub. Yeah. Same passive there, the 12 seconds of debuff cleanse to all allies with a 20-second cooldown. Strife's actually a little bit better, not only because he's a stronger character than Exodus, but also because his applies to all allies rather than just mutant allies. But it's the exact same otherwise. It's 12 seconds of debuff cleanse with a 20-second cooldown. So we'll just have to wait and see if somehow, by some miraculous, stroke of luck, Exodus deals more damage with 40,000 energy attack. Then Strife deals with 80,000 energy attack. It's highly unlikely, not to mention the fact that Strife has a a crazy heal on his artifact, which obviously adds to his tankiness. Whereas, and he has a revive, right? Or no, he doesn't have a revive. No, he doesn't have a revive. There's no way. This update's such a mess. I'm already talking about other characters. So yeah, that's that. That's essentially it for the update itself for the characters. As far as the rest of the content goes, I do want to bring your attention to a couple of things. As far as a part 3 to this update, there is no uniform collection. So as of right now, there's no uniform collection. So a lot of people will say, okay, there's no uniform collection. That means there's going to be a part 3. Well, if you go to the archive, and you'll see that there's already a pre-release token for the next update. Now, the confusing thing about this pre-release event token is that it signals the next update, which means we're done with Hellfire Gala and Mutants and the Epic Quest. However, if you take a look at the event that we just got, the events that we just got in the 28-day check-in and things like that, they end in either 13 days. You can see here, this growth mission ends in 13 days, or they end in 15 days. It's 13 or 15. And of course, this new, this new suite event, this one here with this banner, this ends on the 13th. As you can see from the, well, it's not going to tell you. Yes, it says at the top there, remaining event period 13 days. So this ends in 13 or 14 days, okay? So that's about 2 weeks from now. That puts us at the 13th or the 14th of February. However, the Future Pass ends in 15 days and 8 hours, which puts us at like the 16th or the 17th of February. The issue there is that means the next update can't come until the Future Pass is done, finished, which means the next update is only possible for the next update to drop on the 21st of February. That's 3 weeks from now. So if I'm understanding things correctly, based on the information we have in the game right now, we're not getting any new content besides what we just got today, Mystique and Madeline, for 3 weeks. I might have to make a separate video about this because it's really confusing and it's kind of scary, but I don't know what's going on with the game right now. And I think it's sort of important to point that out to players because of the rest of the stuff I'm going to talk about in the video, especially because one of them is about a pack that you can spend money on. I don't know if that's the plan of the devs. I don't know if perhaps they made a mistake and this is not the right token, but it doesn't really make sense for them to have literally nothing planned for the next 3 weeks except for whatever regular events they're going to schedule, like the the Cosmic Core event, the event World Boss, and then of course the Personal Vault. If that's all they have for the next 3 weeks, the player, like the number of daily active players is going to drop significantly, and the number of, like, the amount of money that people are spending is going to fall off a cliff. Also, if you were looking for a 2-week window to take a break, now would be an amazing time to take a 2-week break from the game and collect your returning player rewards if you've never collected them before. Yeah, so there's that. As far as the Personal Vault, it's apparently been data mined that Kid Omega is the Personal Vault reward, so really hype for that. One of the most useless characters, I think actually the only useless character from the update is the one that gets an artifact, so I'm really happy to see the devs continuing the recent tradition of only giving us shit artifacts. Gone are the days where they gave us Gamora's artifact for free, or Hawkeye's artifact for free, or Hulk's artifact for free, or Spider-Man's artifact for free. Now they just give us the shitty ones like, Kid Omega and Kahori, and just, characters who are transcended with basically no value whatsoever for your roster. It's kind of sad. It's like they were more generous before, and now they're less generous. It's really weird. I don't really have much else to say about it. Those are the regular vaults for Rachel and Madeline. Those are obviously very competitive, but yeah. Kid Omega, I guess it is what it is. And then the new event. I do want to talk about the new event. It is good. It is live now. However, there was some confusion. So to get to the event, you actually have to cycle this banner over until you see the boobs, and then you click on it, and then it will pop this up, and then you click on OK, and then you'll get here. This is the banner for the event, okay? And you can literally scroll. You can physically scroll down to see the missions. You have your daily missions there. It tells you when they reset. You can click the candy received button in order to receive your candy once you've completed the missions. I can't because I've already done it. And then you can click accept your reward, and then it'll do a little reel where it shows you all the rewards, and then it'll pop up with the gift that you get. And then if you keep scrolling down, you'll see your achievement missions. These are all live. You can do all of these immediately if you really want. Like, if you have the energy for it, you could pop 300 dimension missions 10 at a time. I don't know why anyone would do that, but these are not gated. Like, you don't have to divide them up day by day. You should, but you don't have to. And that's in order to get the icon for free. And then you also have the bonus mission for World Boss. Now, mine says 1 out of 50. Some people says more, some people says less. I think it just depends on how soon you played World Boss after you downloaded the Madeline Mystique update. You have 14 days to do this, and you only have to do it 50 times, which is 5 times a day, which is 10 days. So it really shouldn't be all that difficult. This is to get the Mega Tier 2 ticket. This is super easy. Please do not miss this. You don't have to do the other stuff to get this. So even if you miss the icon, even if you miss all of the other things with the daily missions, you don't have to do this shit to get the Mega Tier 2 ticket. And the Mega Tier 2 ticket is by far the most valuable thing here. So make sure you get this. Just log in and play World Boss, and try to play World Boss Legend, whatever, and log out. Finally, last but not least, I want to talk about this Crystal Relay pack. So this Crystal Relay pack is going to come out tomorrow, and it is very competitive. And I say that with the least amount of hype possible, because I feel kind of weird covering this, considering that a lot of the info and a lot of the vibes that I've been getting and giving off to you guys about the game lately have been negative and have been sort of doom-saying and doom and gloom. So it feels weird to cover something that you spend money on, but at the same time, I got a lot of questions about this on the live stream, so I figured there's a lot of people that are curious about it. So I do want to give honest feedback. So on the one hand, my honest feedback is that yes, the price of the crystals here is very competitive. If you do the math here, it's 1,800 crystals. Wow, for $10. It's 5,500 for $30, and then it's 9,500 for $50. This is better than the Black Friday double crystal packs. So when I say they're very competitive, these are basically the second best. This is the second best crystal to dollar ratio after the Stark Stash. The Stark Stash is always the #1 crystal to dollar ratio. It's unbeaten, right? You get like 600 crystals per dollar. You cannot beat that thing. But this is the closest we've ever seen. So yeah, I have to be honest, it is very competitive. And so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people buy this. However, I have to say that the timing of something like this is suspicious, to say the least. I don't mean it's suspicious in the sense that, oh, they're going to shut the game down next month. I mean it's suspicious in the sense that they probably know we're unhappy. They probably see sales dwindling, and they probably see daily active users dwindling. And their strategy, their solution to this, unfortunately, is to do stuff like this. You know, some people, some game developers are just like that, right? They see the game going south, and their idea is to just, you know, shake a little bit of, you know, catnip in front of the players to try to get their attention, to try to boost numbers. Because, of course, every boss has a boss, and the boss's boss is going to be looking at the numbers and saying, hey, why is MFF struggling in January? Holy shit. Look at these numbers. They're fucking awful. You've got a 20% drop in player spending, and you've got a 10% drop in player login. What the fuck are you guys doing? Obviously, they'll say all of that in Korean, right? Yeah, so some devs will, you know, reach out to the community and make positive changes, put out like an emergency patch. And then other developers will do shit like this to try to bait players to boost the numbers so that they look good for their boss. It is what it is, guys. This is the world we live in, unfortunately, for better and for worse. I'm giving you my honest opinion. You can take it or leave it. Ultimately, you decide what you do with your own money. I just wanted to cover, you know, all, you know, I wanted to cover my opinion, but also my sort of judgment in my head, because I guess they're both pertinent. I don't know. This whole channel is my opinion, so it really doesn't fucking matter. I don't have to justify myself. Anywho, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know how excited you are to have absolutely nothing to look forward to in the game for 3 whole weeks. I'm going to start uploading feet pics, I swear to God. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.